Hello. I am in quite the video making mood this week for some reason. So, before I change the price and lower the price of my Amazon Kindle Books self-publishing how-to guide, I thought I'd make a quick video showing people how to change their Kindle book price, where to change it, and maybe a little bit of information about how to analyze your Kindle books and their sales and prices. First off, this is where I am, KDP Kindle Direct Publishing .amazon.com. So that's where I am now. And once you log in with your Amazon login and go to the bookshelf, you'll see the books you've published. As you can see, these are mine that are live. One is just a draft. I was playing around. One is live, and I have others hidden below. So I was playing around with making the price $6.99. In fact, in the month of September of 2013, I played around with quite a few different prices, but generally I like to leave it at one price per month so I can estimate how those sales have worked or haven't worked. I'm going to flip over to my Excel spreadsheet, and I know this is pretty small, but I will explain to you what it is. This is another book up here, my free Kindle book covers book. But these represent, and pay no attention to these years if you can even see them. It was kind of my snafu in copying, but I can tell you what they all mean. I was looking here, and this is really for the period of July 2013, just for that month. I did sell 164 copies with one of them refunded. This is in the Amazon Kindle US store. And it says the average list price was $3.09. Technically, I've never priced my book at $3.09, so I believe that's when I had it priced at $2.99. So if I had it priced at $2.99, which is something I had a dream about, searching on Amazon for $2.99. So I thought maybe that the Lord was trying to tell me to price my books at $2.99. That's why I keep a lot of my prices at $2.99. It's an optimal price point. You know, people might look at it and hopefully think, oh, it's only $3 for a huge book. The thing is, I have to make sure I can price this book that low, which I believe I can again. It has a lot of images, so I'm going to show you what the delivery cost will be and how much each one will bring me. But back then I sold, let's say, 163 of them, net, that one, just in the US store, only at the full price. So let's say if I got close to $2 for each of those, 2 times 163, something like $326. Just for that one book, $326. And we have other ones. I believe that's Spain. We have Canada. Oh, there's Spain, and there's Brazil, I believe. They're opening all these new stores. I love it. I sold some in France and more in the U.S. and more in Germany and U.K. and such. And these are for different months. So some are, not very many at all, and for different prices. Now these are the 35% royalties. For some of them you can't help but sell at that royalty amount, and that's at an average $2.98 price, and I'm trying to remember why. Some of them will automatically go 70% based on the country, and some of them will be forced to 35% royalty, and I still don't know if I remember why. I remember as we get into Amazon, you'll see that they explain to you some of them have to be paid out at the 35% royalty based on the country. And I think I just remembered, even though this says US store, the India sales for the country of India used to be lumped into the US store. So perhaps that's why I have 11 sales here at 35% royalty only, even though my price is about $2.99 here. So that might have accounted for those. But all I know is I'd like to get back to these sales numbers and amounts and more. So I'll click back over here. I'd like to get back there not only because my sales estimated for the month of September 2013, only for that one book alone, perhaps might be around $200. Might be more, hopefully, because I haven't really looked at foreign sales. I like to concentrate on the US sales. So my thought process is that I would like to get back to $2.99, crank out the copies of sales, and who knows, it might even hit the bestseller list because it's selling a larger volume, and then that would crank up the sales even more. Anyway, I just want to change it. So all that to say, I'm going to click here. So click on whatever title you would like to change your price for after you've published it. And anytime you publish a book and you want to change the price of your book, you have to go back through this publishing process. This book is published and available for purchase, and I've already filled out the book name and the description, even though I really have it filled out in Amazon Author Central. Cover is uploaded already. Everything here is how I want it to be. So I wonder, actually I'm going back up to the top, we really only need to click here, rights and pricing. So I really didn't even need to page down, but it couldn't hurt. So I have worldwide rights because I own rights to publish it everywhere. I have a 70% royalty. I want to change this to, see, this one has to be between $2.99 and $9.99, even though I have it there. Let's see, if I change that to 35 cents royalty, my book is so large, full of photos, that I couldn't even knock it down to 99 cents if I wanted to. I'd have to make it at least $1.99 minimum. But I'm going to push it back here to 70% royalty because we want as much as we can get if it's meant to be. Okay, and so see, that tells you estimated. See, this says the 70% royalty option is only applicable for books sold to customers in certain countries, and you can see the pricing page for more info. So every one I sell at 35%, I'll get, 35% royalty rate based on what country the person buying it is from. I'll get about $1.05. And everyone who buys it in the US, hopefully, I'll get a 70% royalty rate, and my delivery costs are pretty high, 85 cents for 85 cents based on a $2.99 sales price. So I'll get $1.50 estimated royalty for everyone I sell. So, but I'm thinking, should I really do this? But I really still want to do this. I want to see how it changes the sales pattern for October and prayerfully a lot more sales. So let's just say I sell 1,000 of these puppies in the month of October. Now we have to add 3 zeros here. Let's push it out. 1 would be 15, 2 would be 150, 3 would be $1,500. So that's right? Yeah. So let's just call those things that be not, and pray I at least sell 1,000 of these things in October. So if I do, that would be $1,500 in royalties for this book for this month of October 2013. Normally, your book may not have anywhere high delivery cost is that much, because mine has so many photos. It's a lot of instructional photos contained within the book, and although I did zip it, I did this process, which you'll learn about in my book if you've read it already, where I chose to save it as a web page, which is something you can do, your Microsoft Word document if you have a Mac. I chose to save it as a web page, and what that does is it gives you an HTML version of your document, and it gives you your folder full of images, and then I chose to zip them together to make it a little bit smaller, the file itself, so my delivery cost wouldn't be as high. but they're still kind of high. I mean, there's 100 photos probably in that book, or maybe more, maybe less, but there's a lot of photos in that book. I wanted to show people instructionally how to do things. And so that's why my delivery costs are so high. But let's say if you have mainly your book is just full of text, not a lot of pictures, this delivery cost will be cheaper. It might only be 35 cents, and your estimated royalty might be $2 or more. So based on how your book looks and what it contains, you might be getting more per book. This one, let's see, sometimes it warns you. Let's see if it lets me set it. Good. Sometimes it'll tell you if you can't set the price automatically based on the US price, but I like it when you can. For example, I pop in $2.99 and I don't want to try and figure out, is that even rupees? I'm trying to remember what currency is in India. It might be rupees, I think. I don't even want to figure out how many rupees might be related. What's a great price based on my US price. So I just have it set it automatically. If it doesn't let you, it'll tell you the range where you can set it, and so you'll still be able to figure out how much to set your price to for various countries. So basically, I mean, it gives you Canada, it gives you Mexico, there we go, even though some of these, it looks so high, but some of them it's like, yen, and I get so excited when you see so many yen, but it really, when it equals a certain amount, it's comparable in the US. It's not as much as we thought. And I didn't know, what is that? The Mexico dollar is, I didn't know is that. I'd have to look that up, but that's what I love about Google. Gives you a lot of currency rate information. Okay, I'm going to, by clicking Save and Publish, I confirm I'll have all the necessary rewrites, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to enroll the book in Kindle Match program because I don't have a hard copy book to match the price against. If you have a hard copy book and a Kindle edition of your book, you might want to look into this Kindle Match program. Google it or what have you. It seems interesting, but at this point I don't have any hard copy books on Amazon. No print books, they're all Kindle books. So that's it. I changed my price. We're going to go with $2.99 for this Amazon Kindle book self-publishing, how to write a book from Microsoft Word document to publish Kindle books. A step-by-step guide with photos, lots of photos, teaching how to self-publish your own Kindle book. Alrighty, we got it there, $2.99, 70% royalty rate. If you had chosen the 99 cents, which is also popular, and if you're able to choose that, if your book doesn't have too many pictures and not too high of a delivery cost, then that's something where you'd be forced to choose 35% royalty rate. The minimum for the $2.99 royalty rate is that 70% royalty rate. $2.99 price minimum for the 70% royalty rate. Okay, so you get it. There we go. I'm going to click Save and Publish. It initiates publishing. And there you go. It'll lead you back to your bookshelf. Even though this says, be aware it can take 12 hours for English and 48 hours for other languages to be available for purchase, that's true if you've changed your book itself. The content of your book or the cover or things like that might take longer. I've found in terms of changing the price on your book, it can be available really quickly. It can be changed really quickly. So for example, I might check back in about 10 minutes and this price might have already flipped from $6.99 down to $2.99 and is available for sale at the lesser price. And making money and on its way to the top 100 list, top spot in Amazon bestsellers. From my mouth to God's ear in Jesus' name. All right, have a great time publishing and pricing your Kindle books, and like the video. Leave me some comments about what types of prices you like to price your Kindle books at and what kind of sales you're making, and let's collaborate and talk about these things. Thanks, hope this has been helpful. Bye-bye.